Cool. I'm back. Oops, that is the wrong setting. Okay. So, this is a previous painting I was working on that I never finished, and it's the last of the Magic the Gathering series. I feel like I'm really blown out in that camera. Oh well, it's fine. That's what I get for having these bright lights here. But otherwise, you wouldn't be able to see the painting that well, so I'll live with it. Okay. So I'm going to be battling against dusty paint. I'm wondering if I should like I don't know, vacuum it off or something. Okay. So that mostly worked. Unfortunately, I put a little too much force on the green there. I believe it was leaf green. I'll most likely have to, well, I might be able to finish it with that green. I've blocked in most of the green already, so I got the vacuum just a little too close and it went just took that back layer. But if that's the cost I gotta pay to keep the dust off my painting, then so be it. Get everything a little more situated here. I feel like whenever I'm starting a new painting, or I mean, this is practically starting a new painting, just 6 parts in, 6 hours in or whatever. So the hardest part here for me is just going to be figuring out where I'm starting from and relearning everything from previously. Actually, just to get started, let's put a little water in here. And then this is back from the time when I didn't even use these syringes to to fill them up. Which means the paint will mix differently. I'll probably say this a couple times today, but I'm doing a bit of a shorter version of the stream because, well, I've got stuff going on tonight, and just as I was going live, probably about 5 tons of snow came off my roof, and I'm not over exaggerating. There was about 3 feet of snow and ice on my roof, and it all slid off, just dumped itself right on my like right in front of my door, right in front of the entryway. And I thought I had a little more time, so I'm gonna want to go deal with that before it gets too dark outside. I'd rather not be doing that tonight. So where to begin? I've got my swatch there. Let's take a look closer in the background, I think, and then I'll just move down as I go. I went really wide with this whiteboard. I'm gonna cut this off, I think. Well, first of all, let's move everything out of the way. But this is just kind of in my way. I need to be able to use the mouse. So, I'm not sure how other people do it, but whenever I'm starting a project on paper, which is what I've been using lately, I get a foam core board, just like this, and I cut it to about the size I want, and I stretch out the watercolor paper to reduce this bubbling. Unfortunately, this is one I did a while ago, so didn't quite... I'll have to flatten it a couple times probably afterwards just to get it to fit right in the frame at the end. But now I got all this room for activities in my mouse, so that's zoomed all the way out. Okay, that's another thing I need to do. I need to fix my my boom. There's a screw in there that is stripped, so I can't raise and lower this, which is what I wanted to do. I wanted to raise it up a bit higher just so you couldn't see it, because it's right here, you know. Okay, let's put that away. And then I want to pull up the reference picture and really look close at this background. And the problem with these right here, the problem with this is, for whatever reason, I was trying a new way of doing the trees. And I was getting really frustrated with it because it just wasn't looking the way I wanted it to look. But let's get some paint on the paper, huh? Gotta move it around a little bit here, trying to find where I want it because it feels like it's really far away from me. So I remember when I was doing this one before, that's why it was so big, was because I could put it anywhere and I could move the entire camera, and that later on broke. I'm left-handed, so let's do this. Unfortunately, you're going to cover up most of this. And just let's get started here. I remember before that I was really nonplussed. I was really upset that the colors weren't exactly showing up the way I wanted them to. Like, they were all kind of dull, and of course, through my experience that I've had since I stopped doing this, I've gotten a lot better, I believe. But this is going to be odd. It's going to be... like, I don't consider myself... I do still consider myself amateur at painting. But I am less of an amateur now than I was when I started this painting. And it'll be interesting to see what I can bring to this, layering my abilities. And for some of these, I didn't even like... So these trees right here aren't real. These are trees I came up with. And I don't remember how. Maybe it was just random splatters that I went with. Maybe it was a mistake and I created these. But a lot of these ones don't exist. This one in particular. Although I like where it's going, so I'm going to keep it. Phone call. Sorry, I'll be right back. I believe I mentioned it before, but my parents are over at the cabin, and I act as kind of a control tower, you know, safety person in town in case they get in trouble or something. That's why I gotta answer the phone even if I'm streaming. All right, back to shadows. Trying to rescue this forest. And I have a better understanding now about how, like, I already understood that if you put something really bright there, the shadows it makes will be that much darker. Like, I already knew that, but now I feel like I have a better grasp on it as well. Like, I just decided to make this tree here pop out even more, so I added the shadow directly around it to make the shadow even darker so it would pop out even more. The sun's coming from the upper right hand side here, so all the shadows are going to be on the left side, and it'll be darkest in certain areas. It'll be the darkest right before the color, which also helps it pop out even more. And then I'll have to go back through and really get the shadows on the trees themselves well placed too. Because currently they are not. I think I was more This feels like a practice piece, you know? It doesn't really feel like how some of the other paintings felt when I was beginning them. But if I can recover from that, I think it could turn out all right. It's like it's got good qualities, but I wasn't I don't feel like I had any direction when I started it, you know? It's like I was just kind of messing around. I didn't really know where it was going. I still don't completely, but I've got a better idea. These are all a series of trees that are blending together that are lining the edge of like a crevice, or like an avalanche flow area. They're just above it, this ridge line here. And they're packed so tightly they kind of become a single tree a little bit. Well, tree line. Seemingly. The really hard part about this is, well, first off, these are very far away. They're like, what? A couple miles, maybe a mile. But they're farther away than you would typically draw high definition with. So I mean, typically when you're drawing something this far away, it gets blurry. You know, it kind of loses definition, intensity. There's haze, you know. What other atmospherical things are in between you and them interfere? If the air is unstable, if it's, you know, they all affect it. That's why you want your subjects up close. Well, I guess technically the trees aren't the subject, they're just the background, but it's enough part of it that I feel like I need to spend more time on them. I'm rambling a little bit. I do like what I was doing on this tree here. I think I did, this is the last thing I did before I started the commissions. I don't want to rid all this shadow here. It's been a minute since I've practiced trees. What was the last one I did? I guess the last one I did was Kincaid. But there was no autumn there. And then I did this one as well, but I don't think that really counts. Yeah, the last one I did was this practice one without any planning or anything, and just doesn't look that great. I was just kind of doodling around, and it didn't really turn out. I'm not proud of it. Put it that way. It's really cool to see that sometimes, what I did just there. I don't know how subtle it was. Hey Angel, how's it going? How are you doing today? Pretty good. I'm getting started on this Potter's Marsh piece again. Just kind of talking my way through it, trying to rediscover where my thoughts were when I was doing it previously. Oh, thank you. They're on their way. Come back in 20 hours and we'll see what they look like. Oh no, I was mentioning that I'm probably not going to stream long today because I had literally 5 tons of snow come off my roof as I was going live. So I had about 3 feet of snow on my roof, and then like a good, few inches of ice underneath that, and it all just decided right as I was going live to slide off the roof and end up in front of my front door. So I was like, I'm not going to deal with this right now. I'm just going to go paint, and I'll deal with this in a minute. So I probably won't be streaming terribly long. I got to go deal with that before it freezes, because that's the problem. When it comes down like that, it's probably a wet snow. It's probably packed, so when it lands it's gonna compress even more, and if I let it, it'll freeze there, become a giant ice block. So I'll have to deal with that. 80. Yeah, well, I mean, it'll freeze because it's so wet. The snow is so wet, it compresses and then it'll freeze solid. It'll become a ginormous ice block, and then I won't be able to move it until springtime. It doesn't bother me that much. I've grown up with it, so I'm used to it. Although there's people that it really bothers, I've noticed. Besides, I think 80 degrees is crazy. I mean, I can tolerate it. We got a lot of people that visit just for the snow. Especially, and it's funny when they come in March and expect it to be a winter wonderland, but that's when it's all melting. So it's like a slush wonderland. A slush land. That's just so happens when my birthday is too. Which is funny because when I was younger, all I wanted to do was go snow machine or snowboard on my birthday, and then it's just everything's melting. So it's like, wow. That's great, guys. Thanks. This is the time I set aside to go snowboarding, and you just go and melt on me. It's no biggie. I'll just go earlier in the season. Besides, it's getting close to the end of February. I'm not gonna deal with too much more snow, I don't think. We'll probably get two more snowfalls that are significant, and the rest is all just dust. So it won't really affect much. I'm hoping this is the last time I have to clear my front door, though. The roof of the house I'm living in didn't used to be aluminum, so if it snowed too much, you'd have to go out and clear the snow from the roof if it got really bad. But now that's aluminum, it just comes off, and it is not well designed to handle it. Because that wasn't the original purpose. See, you've got the same problem, except yours is combustible. Mine is wet, soaking wet. Oh, so I'm trying a new tea. I bought one of those multi-packs, you know, with all the different ones. And so this is the one I'm trying right now. Lady Grey black tea. It's pretty good. I definitely taste like fruity flavors in it though. It's all right. I think I left it a little long though. I'm gonna pour some more hot water in it. It's a little lukewarm at the moment. I was too focused on trying to figure out what I'm doing here. Oh, do you let it steep and then take it out? Is that it? All the ones I've ever done, I just left in. Oh. Oh, okay. Oops, I was washing out in the wrong cup. Oh well. There wasn't much on there anyway. So I totally didn't tell you about this series of paintings, did I? So this is a 5-part painting series. And this is the 5th entry right here. Do you know the card game Magic the Gathering? So I played it a lot growing up with my friends, and I saw the other day, well, this was a couple years ago at this point, that Bob Ross had a land series. A land card is a type of card in the game. It's all based around the land or the mana that lands produce. And so I saw that Bob Ross did it, and I was looking at the paintings and I was like, they're good paintings, but they weren't meant for this. It's like they kind of used them as throwaways, and they're like, oh, we can make money off this. We should give this to Wizards or whoever runs Magic the Gathering. It's like, I can do an Alaska-themed land set and do my own cards. And that's what started this series. The 4 paintings that are hanging up right here, I don't really want to reach over and show them all to you right now, but I'll show you 2 of them. So there's forest, swamp, island, mountain, and plains. And this one right here that I'm painting is going to be the swamp, because it's literally a marsh. So this would be the black land, the black swamp, even though it's very colorful, obviously. I didn't want to go totally in a box because I wanted it to be a good looking painting and not only meant for Magic, but here. This is the mountain. This is the first one of the series I painted. You can see I painted it last in the January of 2021. I finished it, and the light's very harsh for the type of blue I was using. It's really making it hard to tell, but it's not an island, it's a landlocked thing. I'm just looking at it across the bay here. This was the land, or the volcano, and I was really happy with how this cloud turned out here. And then the forest, the green mana, is this one. So this is a local park in Anchorage, actually. It's called Kincaid Park, and that took me a little while to do, even considering how it's not very big, you know. But so you've seen 3 of the 5. The other 2 are up there, but I really don't like moving too much stuff around when I've got paint out like this. Oh, thanks. Yeah, it's about time I finish this project, though. It's been, obviously, since January of 2021. It's about time I finish this. But hey, you know me, I paint slowly. I don't want to rush. But the whole idea from this series of paintings, I'm going to make my own cards. And they're going to be as close as I can get to the Magic the Gathering cards without, you know, engaging a lawsuit or a cease and desist or anything like that. I'm not going to sell them, but I do plan on giving a few away. And hopefully I can get pretty close to a replication of it. Yeah, me too. In fact, I'm wondering if I did a mock-up in Photoshop of the first one. I want to see if I can find it real quick, because I'm really happy with how it turned out. Maybe it's not on my phone. I think I took it off my phone, unfortunately. Oh, I can show you the other 2 right here, though. So this is the island. And I could probably blow it up even more here. So this is the island painting I did. You're not going to be able to see like the perfect colors because it's obviously it's a screen on a screen. So, but you can kind of get what I was going with there. And then this is the plains. Now it looks I don't, you might not know what you're looking at, but right here in the foreground, like that, those are the frozen tundra. So what you're seeing is bushes and lakes that are all frozen solid. It was probably -30 out when I took the reference picture for this. And then you got some mud flats out here, and then that kind of pale layer there is a huge frozen lake. And then on the other side is the shore and mountains, where the mountains basically are the same hue as the clouds. And then above the cloud layer, you got the clear layer, and then another cloud layer above that. So, yeah, it was the painting or the picture, because I guess they were both an experience. I've had a few experiences up in the Arctic that were pretty crazy. Oh yeah, figuring out the clouds and the sunrise with the reflection, the red. That was tough. So I couldn't find the picture that I wanted to show you. I'm not gonna keep looking right now, but if you've seen a magic card, it's just that on a magic card, so it's not, not crazy. But it looks really good, I gotta be honest. Like on one side, I was like, that's kind of nerdy. Make my own magic cards. That's you're a big nerd, Max. Yeah. But then I saw the finished Photoshop project, and I was like, got a little giddy about it. I was like, that's kind of cool. All right, that's cool. we are we are nerds here. I am the nerd. You are the nerd. Too true. Oh yeah, I liked the medallion painting you were doing. That looked really cool. I would love to attempt to do like a stained glass version of it, or like your other viewer was saying. I don't know your relationship to him, but they were mentioning Alderon, and it also looks like a tile you would see. A digital version? Nice. I think it is slightly too complicated for stained glass, but if you were to do like a tile version, like an ornamental tile, that would be really cool. Like you always see those in like cathedrals, and castles, where they have the ornamental tile or the ornamental brick. It just kind of reminded me of that. Ah, come on. I bet you could do it if you wanted to. That's so cool. Do you ever do that thing where it's not something I do often, but like, you know, like this, and then you like hyperload it and looks better with blue. I love that, but again, I never use it for anything really. It's difficult to do correctly too. Like right there, I wasn't doing it correctly either. I was just kind of doodling again. So what kind of plans you got on this weekend there, Angel? Got anything special? Anything you're looking forward to? Is Tricky back yet? I know you were. It seemed like you were missing him a little bit. Nice. Oh, you're looking forward to a lazy weekend. Is that it? Nice. Can you give me any teasers? What kind of... Oh, I'm kind of excited for my weekend. We didn't do D&D last week because we got a new member, and he's a new DM that is running our playthrough, and he wanted some time to kind of catch up and then make a new character for our friend that's joining us. And tonight we have movie night. We do it weekly, every Friday. Yeah. I'm having a lot of fun with D&D. I had a feeling I would. I've never been an actor or anything like that, and this is my chance to kind of play with the idea of acting a little bit. And it's kind of fun to see personalities come out of your friends that are a little different than their own. And then, oh yeah, movie night tonight. And then I've got a charcuterie board that I've been putting together, slowly assembling, that I'm gonna have during D&D, and I'm actually pretty excited about that too. Like, oh god, I feel old. How to recreate my watercolor poppies on my tablet. Like from scratch, or are you gonna take a picture and then redo it like overlay style and recreate it that way? Or do you mean for like making prints and stuff like that? What kind of tablet are you using? Like a iPad or something? I always wanted to try those Wacom tablets and drawing on them, but I never really got into digital art. Those guys do crazy stuff that would take me forever to do. And you can put a glow on it too that you just can't do that on with paint and pencil or paint and brush, paint and paper. You just can't get that back glow quite enough. Although I've been trying. Wacom, nice. I've been wanting to play with one of those, but the one I got originally was a cheap version, and it just didn't do what I wanted. Awesome. I do feel like I need to practice a bit of my digital art skills. I'm with you there. How old do you think I am? Curiously enough, how old do you think I am? I'm curious because it feels like everyone answers differently from me. And they usually, doesn't help right now that I've got a beard going on. It makes me look a little older. A little more accurate, I should say. That's not a number. Oh, okay. I'm 34. So, yeah, you're not far off. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's close enough. Usually, oh man. Once, okay, this has happened more than a few times. I look very young, generally. Especially if I'm clean shaven and then I've got my hair up in like a faux hawk or something. I look pretty young. I've been carded before when my friend that's younger than me didn't. I had younger girls kind of flirting with me, and I'm like, no, stay away. You're not. I'm too old for you. Just leave me alone. And just like people thinking I'm the youngest. This was last year. Someone thought I was 22. Because I overheat super easy. Funny enough. For example, when I was a baby, my parents brought me to Hawaii with them, and apparently I was just always covered in sunscreen, but I didn't burn at all. I just tanned, and they said I got so dark that there were these Japanese tourist girls, and they all thought I was a local. So that's how tan I got. And they have somewhere in the world There are Japanese ladies out there with pictures of baby me thinking I was Hawaiian. I think I'm going to have to add so much more shadow to this to make it so I'm not frustrated with it. And going to interrupt a lot of the color. I'm playing right now with I don't know if you can see it. Oh yeah, you can see that. I'm trying to do like trees and branches and stumps in the shadow. Yeah, and I'm hoping it'll turn out well. Oh, thanks. Even when I'm done with that, I still have this section, which I'm worried about. And I'm not as worried about the water section. I've just been putting it off because I feel the most comfortable with this section. And then the last thing I'm going to do is the foreground, which is going to be all of these reeds and straw and stuff that's sticking out right in the foreground. And that's going to be tough, I think. I showed you the thing I'm basing it off, right? Where is it? Ah. So that was my practice sketch right here. Trying to figure out what I was going to do with it. And you can tell, I mean, that almost looks like it's ripped from the same paper at the top. I'm really happy with how the water turned out, and then there's a more in-depth version of it, focusing on one of the swans. Looks super bright right there, but hopefully I can get that. I like the swan a lot, but that's the idea of this painting. Oh, thanks. Now I just gotta turn it into that. That's all it is, right? Just do it. And the interesting part about this is I'm not really using Like I have a reference picture, kinda. It's actually, I'll show you. I'll show you right now. Hang on. So here's my comparison right here. So you can tell that I didn't really, the background does not look like the background there. And it's because I kind of doing my own thing. So the reference for this is, there isn't a reference other than the general idea of the right picture there. This is a lot more accurate, obviously. You can see that the position of the birds is mostly similar. But this ought to be interesting. And I'm really worried about how to do the straw here. It's so subtle. It's just alternating like very light gray with brown and orange. And then it just does that over and over and over and over and over again. And I think I was getting close here, but it's still too orange. Or maybe it isn't. I don't know. Yeah, I know. I was just commenting how I usually have a more accurate kind of reference than just randomly making it up in my own head as I go. Really, the ones all on the left should be a little more muted because they're behind the other. Oh, I've been going for an hour already. I didn't even notice. Still looks pretty light out. I can paint a little while longer. Tea packet down. Actually, you know what? I think I'll be right back. I'm gonna dump this out and do a new one. Okay, so it's tea time. Gather all your mugs, it's tea time. So how have you been enjoying streaming? I can tell you're putting an effort in. Yeah, it feels like. Were you streaming before I met you there on here? I can't remember if you were streaming yet or not. Okay. Early December. That's when I was doing the cabin painting. Yeah, are you enjoying it? Oh yeah, well, totally. You can't expect it to be a constant schedule. That's crazy. You can try your best, but that's quite a high target to hit. You're too nice. I can't imagine you cranky. At least in my experience. Even my friend remarked about it, Natalie, she's in here sometimes. She was like, that angel, she's so nice. I forgot you were Slytherin. I take back what I said. You're awful. You're terrible. The Ravenclaws are the good ones. Where are you at in Hogwarts? I've been putting a lot of time into it lately. Late night streams and whatnot. Of course. Oh, dude. How much have you played with the broom? I'm enjoying that game so much. It's like I grew up with the books, and in the movies Harry was always my age. So I was like, dude, we're classmates. And every so often I have to stop and just like look around. It's like, oh, that's what that looks like, you know. I was like, it's not what I pictured, but that looks good too, you know, stuff like that. Oh, mouse and keyboard. Yeah, I love PCs. I love computers. I really do. But as far as gaming goes, I'm usually on a console. I mean, I've got this computer and I definitely use it for gaming. I used to play WoW and all that stuff, but I feel like it's more immersive on a console. The controller in your hand, you're not really thinking about hand placement. Why don't you try a controller? It was a bit odd trying to get used to the broom on controller too. The controls are a little wonky. They aren't quite what you would expect. Like I was expecting. There you go. But yeah, I was expecting it to act more like a flight sim, or at least the planes in GTA or something like that. And it just is its own thing. It doesn't even act. It does not act like that. My reference picture, it's not a reference picture, is gone. Okay. It's so crazy how some of these trees give other trees shadows and other ones, yeah, for sure. Uh, and other ones just seem to meld, to mesh together with them. Although they kind of have an upslope. A little more of an upslope. Oh no! Did you get on? Did it get on anything? Hopefully it didn't get on anything important. I did that just the other day. Luckily it got on my paint tray. Luckily I had moved the painting. But I think I mentioned that before. I guess it could have been worse, right? Could have spelt like 25-year-old scotch. I don't know. Whew. Lucky. I'm gonna be there in a couple hours. I'll be checked out of productivity. But I'll ask you to keep me company for just a little while longer, and then I'll go do shoveling chores. How's the tea coming along? Hot. It definitely has a fruity thing, and I don't know how I like that. I don't think I'm a fan of the fruity teas now. Welcome back. I'm glad damage control wasn't drastic. That's what I'll do. Well, I'll try and finish up pretty quick so you can go do that. I don't want to hold you up. Yeah. Busy weekend, huh? Or busy week, I guess. That didn't turn out too bad. The movie for tonight, I believe, is Black Dynamite. I believe that's what we're watching tonight. It was between that or Major Pain, I think, was the two choices. It's I'm pretty sure it's a comedy. I think I've seen it. I can't remember for sure. I was pretty sure I saw it though. I want to watch Hackers eventually, though. That was my favorite movie as a kid when I was growing up. I fancied myself a hacker. They're going after the Colonel. Hack the planet. Teen Hacker? It was just called Hackers, and Angelina Jolie was in it. I don't remember if it was out in 2000. I feel like it's older than that though. But Angelina Jolie is like 18 in it, and the guy that plays Shaggy from Scooby-Doo is in it. He's like one of my favorite actors. He's such a good guy in real life. And he's always played this, even when he was a murderer in Scream, the first movie, I think, and even then he was still kind of like chill, just kind of like, what you picture Shaggy, you know, just like, ha, all right. Yeah. My trees are looking good. Oh, thanks. They're kind of a mess still, I think. I feel like they're still a bit of a mess, but it's slowly coming along. think this will be a... I don't think it'll take me as long as the last painting I did. So not a full 19-parter with 3 hours a session. Yeah, it turned out that last painting, the Fleischstrasse, the Butcher Street. You think it'll take longer? I don't think it'll take me 40 hours because that's how long that one took me. Also, this is already... This one's already about 6 hours, 7 hours in. I don't know how long it'll take me, but I think it'll probably be done around part 16. So not as long, but it'll still take a minute. I hope it doesn't take longer because 40 hours for especially considering how big the painting is. I hope it doesn't take me 40 hours. I also think I need to find more pine trees in here. I guess I don't. Looking at the real reference picture, there really isn't any pine trees, which is funny because we have a ton of them up here. Interesting. Oh, I know why. It's because it's on the sunward side of the mountain. And I think these are mostly cottonwood and birch trees here. And that's why they're there. Because they love it. They love sunshine and a hard packed ground. Do you have a favorite tree? Is that a little on the nose because I'm painting trees right now? Yeah. Favorite tree. Favorite tree type, maybe? Or maybe I'll make it easier. Do you have a favorite plant. I know you like to paint flowers. I've seen you do a few of them. Oh, yeah. That's cool. I think mine is definitely in the spruce or pine family. In fact, for a long time, well, not a long time, I was trying to convince myself if there's one giant oak tree and it's just on a hill by itself and it just like branches out. You're homesick? Ah, sorry. Oh, hey. It's not the same. It's not the same, but I do have a Foggy Mountain painting. I don't know if I've shown you that one before. Sorry. So this is I don't know how well you can see it, but it's a very foggy painting, and it's in the fall time up on the side of a mountain. It was one of the paintings I did in like 1 hour, so I was speed painting it a little bit. And I want to come back and do a full-sized version of this one. And actually put some time into it. I think it would be really cool. But it's skeleton pine. Yeah. We have stuff like that as well, but I don't have a painting of it. I'm not proud of this painting, but that's the closest you'll get, I think. Yeah, it's in the books, but I think I'm gonna do the industrial one first because I've got a really good feeling about it. Oh yeah, I wanted a snow-covered pine tattoo right here on my forearm, but while I love tattoos, I've never wanted one enough to get one. So I guess if I were to get one, I would get that. But I feel like that's been done by people who I am not favorable of, so maybe I won't. Maybe tattoos just aren't for me. They forget it's there. I guess after it's been there for a while, it would be easy to forget it's there. Which is funny because it's funny that I'm like this about tattoos because my sister is covered in tattoos. And then my brother has like 3 or 4, I think. I think he was getting another one. So yeah. It's a little early, I know, but I think I've got to go shovel, and I'm sure you want to go lay down. So I'll release you for the evening, and I'll call it there. No, I gotta go get the choring done. Yep, I'm gonna go to the garage and grab a pickaxe. I think I might have to use a pickaxe to make a dent in what I'm about to do. I think it's gonna be a couple hours of shoveling. So, yeah. Well, Angel, I might stream Hogwarts over the weekend, but I don't imagine I'll be painting this weekend. I've got to do a lot of work with the other painting still. So yeah, I hope to see you next time, and have a good weekend. If it's not too early, I'll check it out, but I may be sleeping in late Sunday. All right, I'll see you around, Angel. Have a good one.